Title clearance is an interesting one. Generally speaking, there are exclusions that a company or applicant for the policy can look to make. It might result in a different cost, but the exposure level would be different. Ultimately, for something like title clearance, I would encourage most clients to obtain it. The cost to obtain it is relatively nominal. I've certainly been involved in dozens of applications that I've completed where the production did not obtain a title clearance, but I ended up doing my own research through various databases, IMDb and similar, as well as North American or international copyright and trademark searches, just to make sure that there's no entity that is similar, no feature film that was released recently with a similar title, similar genre that would create any type of market confusion. So sometimes while we don't have that clearance report in hand, my explanation or an entertainment lawyer's explanation on the policy might do the same thing. Again, the cost is relatively nominal to get, and I think that plus a little bit of time spent for an entertainment lawyer might just be best to get that included in the policy. With respect to the exploitation avenues, I do have several clients that reach out to me when they're looking to obtain E&O. A little bit later, the film's already been made, they've got into certain film festivals, and they want protections in place for the film festival generally. I'd advise against it because I find the cost to spend for a lawyer, an entertainment lawyer with experience, to go through this application to review all the materials would be roughly the same. The scope of work involved as an entertainment lawyer would be roughly the same, whether the exploitation is restricted to a film festival or otherwise. The purpose of a film festival, which often gets lost in translation because TIFF is publicly accessible, but most film festivals, the purpose of it is for a distributor or sales agent or broadcaster to see your work and want to enter into an agreement with you in order to exploit that work. So at some point, you're going to need to revisit and expand this errors and omissions policy that you have. If you already get it limited to a film festival, you're going to have to address this at a later date, and it might be a little bit more complicated at that time because maybe there's a certain piece of permission or some release that you needed to get that you didn't quite get yet, but you're certainly going to need it now that the relevant party's involved. So I'm not so sure that it's advisable for a production company to obtain it for a very narrow form of exploitation. The work is roughly the same for an entertainment lawyer and the production, and you would already have a full and thorough E&O policy in hand by the time you get a buyer involved.